I've handled cases throughout the state of Michigan, but I never had handled a case in Battle Creek until I had a truck accident. It was on I-94. It was a truck-van accident. My client was in a van, and a truck had hit him from behind, and unfortunately he was killed. It was a very strange accident in the sense that the truck driver claimed that he barely tapped the back end of the van, and that the van had cut him off as he came across, was merging into the expressway in I-94. And then all the witnesses to the accident, the van continued to go down the road, my client. He went up on the embankment on the right, came down the embankment, went across the expressway, and was hit head-on by another semi and was unfortunately killed. And we had a hard time figuring out, well, how could he continue to drive down the road? And why did he go up the embankment and then across and into the expressway on the other side? Well, we hired an expert in our case, and we were able to determine from the photographs of this accident that our van was a work van, had a ladder and hammers and all kinds of other things in the back workspace of the van. And we theorized that when the truck hit our van, it threw the ladder and the hammer forward, knocked our client out. And in fact, what you saw as driving was not driving at all. What it was his cruise control was on, and therefore he went up at the same speed over the side of the road, and then because of the angle of the side of the road on the expressway, it started to come back down this way, and it went right through went through the center of the expressway and was hit head on. We tried this case because the defendant denied any liability. They said this guy our client cut him off, and that they barely tapped him from behind. It was kind of an interesting case because we were finally getting to the point where we had the police officer, the state police officer, who was going to testify in regards to his recreation of the accident. He didn't have anything recreated like we had. And we were talking to him out in the hallway, waiting for this case to proceed forward, and we take a look at his notes again and said, well, your police report says that there was only 20 feet of skid mark, which would then, I guess, kind of jive with the story of the truck driver, that our client cut him off and that he was unable to stop and just tapped him. The police officer looked at us and said, well, that's wrong. I said, well, this is your report. He goes, yeah, my original note says there are 200 feet of skid marks, not 20. It's a typo. It became clear then, right during the middle of this trial, that truck was going way over almost 80 miles an hour. Because our client had the cruise control on, he probably wasn't merging at the time of the accident. And so when this collision took place, it drove him down the road, knocked him out, and ultimately led to his death. Unfortunately, we got all the insurance that this company had. We take a look at their books after settlement. They had nothing but all kinds of mortgages and other things on their books covering their trucks, so the case was worth a whole heck of a lot more than what we got. But in this particular case, we got all the insurance there was to be had. There was some insurance that actually went to the other truck driver come the other way that killed our client, because he ended up breaking both of his legs. In the end, what it demonstrates, though, is that, again, we did not give up on our client. It looked bad. It looked like he was driving down the road after he was hit. It looks like he was the guy merging onto the road. But it all turned out not to be true. It turned out that after fighting, getting our expert, putting together the pieces of this case, looking at all the other witnesses, it finally was determined that the truth came out, that the other truck driver was driving way too fast, hit our client from behind, which led to his death. Fighting for your client is what you need to do in every single case, no matter how big